Hello, Marianne. Early is good. I was late. And they were just power washing at my neighbor's. I thought that was going to be going on and driving us all crazy, but it looks like they're finished. So that's a good thing. I'll do a little stamping in the lead up. I haven't seen my mama squirrel, by the way. What did I just do with the stamp set? I literally just brought in here. Oh, here it is. I put some antlers out for her today. She's digging the antlers. Stocking is good. First time YouTube live viewer. It's great because I can see your name. Oh, I need the sentiment too. I really like this one. I love when there are dies for sentiments. Makes me happy. Hey, Mary. How are you? I was talking to Mary Hansen. She's on Facebook, so you can't see her. I can see your name, Marianne. For some reason, when you're on Facebook, I can never see your name. Your StreamYard authorization doesn't work over there for some reason. I think I told y'all when. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're here, Mary. I think I told y'all about the one and only time I saw the Northern Lights. I lived and worked in Maine for a summer, which they shouldn't even really be allowed to use the word summer in Maine because I literally froze to death the entire time that I was there. Was right on the coast and I worked right on the coast. Miserably cold, damp place in the so-called summer. And it gets dark at, noon. Oh, how weird, Mary. So anyway, obviously, not my preferred climate or sunshine hours that I need to survive and not lose my mind. I need a lot of sun. But because it gets dark at noon, and of course that's hyperbole, you have more opportunity to see the Northern Lights, which I had never seen and was not prepared for. So it was after work one day, and it was pitch dark at an unreasonable hour. And I was walking. I'm trying to remember what I was doing because I was walking in a weird direction. I was walking up towards the library, which is not kind of the normal way that I went home. Maybe I was just on a walk. I don't know. I love the Bear too, and the new Misty. Anyway, it was pitch dark, and I'm walking up this hill, and all of a sudden, there are just like sheets of green light in the sky. Sheets. And they were like rippling. And honest to God, I thought the world was ending. I was not prepared. Living in Central Texas, I was not prepared. Well, I was living in East Texas at that time. Not prepared for what was happening. I mean, there were only a couple of options that really made sense to me. Alien invasion, obviously. You're going to go there. Or the end of the world. Those were the only two things. Or possibly an alien invasion that was kicking off the end of the world, right? I mean, that's a possibility. So I was just like dumbstruck and just staring at it like I was completely vulnerable right then to like kidnapping or anything like that because I could do nothing but just stare in shock and awe at what was going on in the sky. And then I realized, like, very slowly realized that it was the Northern Lights. And it's still just like the eeriest. Hey, Susie. Hey, Barb. I miss you too. I know you and Amy. I've missed you and Amy on my lives. You guys must all be busy. So anyway, it was a very surreal experience and unforgettable. So if you've never seen the Northern Lights, I recommend looking them up so that you don't think the world is ending when you do see them. That's just my tip. That's my hot tip for today. So, because I mean, what if it was just like a complete shock to your system and you had a heart attack because you thought the aliens were here? Which, I mean, I don't know why we even think that's a thing, that the aliens are coming. That would be the least of our problems right now. Aliens. Matter of fact, they might fix everything for all we know. Okay, here's my little bear. You know what's great about this bear? And I have another card with this bear. I'm going to be on a YouTube hop next week where you will see just the cutest card with this bear. But what's great about him and little Mr. Penguin Friend, you don't have to color them. They're already colored. Although I did do a reflection on my bear, reflected light, and I might do that today as well. Because you know how snow, if you live somewhere where it snows, like Barb would be an expert on this, and Susie also. If you live somewhere where it snows, like I used to, you know that snow reflects all the colors around it. So that's just one of the properties of snow that you can incorporate into your cards. Okay, now tell me that you love this the most, that there are sentiments with dice. You know you love it the most. There's no point pretending that you don't love it the most, because you do. Now, we had a little cold front, very unusual early October cold front. And now it's so hot and miserable. Just like we had like 2 days of cold weather. And that was it. Oh, for sure. I wore sunglasses more in Rochester than I do here. That reflection, snow and water, both. Both of those things I try to avoid at all costs now, snow and water. And well, I guess just water, because snow is water. I'm going to make sure I don't have any extra color on my desk here. It can be a little sneaky, even on a white glass mat. So when you're getting ready to do what I'm getting ready to do, definitely police your glass mat, because that can make a big difference. So I wanted to do just an homage to what I saw in Maine, instead of like the typical blue. You know how when we do like Northern Lights style techniques, how we put a bunch of colors in there, like we do with galaxy techniques, which I just love. I love both of those things, and I've done both. But today I thought I would just do a little bit closer to what I saw in the sky, and we'll see how it goes. So, I mean, the thing is, no one can tell me, no one can like look at this card on my YouTube channel and say, she did a green sky. That's so unrealistic, because I saw this with my own eye holes. I saw it. So nobody can tell me it's unrealistic, because it's not. It's absolutely not. It's as real as it can be. By the way, Stephen King, apparently, I follow him on Twitter, and apparently he has some new movie or show or something that he put a little warning on Twitter. Do not watch this if you are at all afraid of heights. So for those of you like me who just are terrified of heights, whatever Stephen King's newest adventure is, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Because when Stephen King tells you not to watch it, you shouldn't be watching it. Those are some cold, hard facts for y'all today. Cold, hard facts. Now, Marianne, did you see the video of all the little tree puppies running up and down from the owl house? So my grand squirrel had 4 babies, which that's a large litter for a fox squirrel. And we were sitting outside doing backyard happy hour this weekend, and we saw the babies. And she apparently has taken up residence in my neighbor's owl house, which is nailed to the side of a tree. And the babies would just run all the way up to the top of the tree, like chase each other, and then run all the way back down and into the nest. And she would be kind of bringing up the rear. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Hey, Julie. How are you? Julie did a class at our creative reuse recently. That's kind of exciting. Now I'm deliberately trying to make this streaky. That's hard with blending brushes because they're designed to blend perfectly. But so it's a lot harder than it would be with like a sponge. But I'm just going for subtle kind of stripes, and the way that you can do that, because that's what I saw in the sky. The way that you can do that is don't get any of the ink off your brush before you go to put it down on the paper. So normally you would do that to get an even smoother blend, but we're not going to do that this time because we're deliberately trying to get a little bit of motion in there. Now, since these are like yellow and green, you wouldn't have to clean in between, but I think it makes for a better blend. You have squirrels in your owl house? I'm so jealous. I need to get an owl house, clearly. So I'm just brushing from the top and the bottom just to get that, and see how I'm not blending. I'm trying to keep those streaks in there. And so a lot of times when you see pictures of the Northern Lights, you'll see kind of like a shape like that, like an S shape where there are like curtains of light. That is not what I saw at all. So to me, what I saw was more like it was sort of coming and going in different parts of the sky. Maybe we had some cloud cover. Like I said, it's not very sunny in Maine. So that might have been influencing what I saw, but it probably also just looks different every time. So, oh no, I hope you can catch him and take him to the vet. Hello, Minnesota. My brother-in-law is in Minnesota right now, northern Minnesota. He's from Minnesota. He's from Marine on St. Croix-ish. But he is in Minnesota right now duck hunting. He goes this time of year to a little Hutterite camp where he duck hunts. He loves to duck hunt. And he loves, well, obviously he loves Minnesota. That's where he's from. But he loves the cold weather. Like the Texas heat is hard on him. So... Okay, now this is chipped sapphire. And what I'm going to do is just kind of recreate what I saw, which is just kind of random areas of color in the sky, just by blacking out other areas with ink. So I'll just darken some areas. Oops. Ooh, I need my ink stand. Oh, I only have my Gina K inkstand right here in my drawer. I need my Distress inkstand, which is in the other room. So I'm just going to have to be more careful. So anyway, yeah, he's up there hunting. Oh, nice. Minnesota's so great. When we went there for their wedding, there was a pie restaurant in St. Paul that was incredible. Y'all know your pie up there. That's no lie. And when I went in the summer for Junkie Fest, the weather was so unbelievably beautiful in the summer. I can't remember when I was little, because we went to all the states except Alaska and Hawaii in the station wagon when I was a kid. And I cannot remember if we ever went to Minnesota in the summer, like to the state fair or anything like that. Because when I went for Junkie Fest, I was so astonished at how unbelievably great the weather was in the summer. I mean, cool temperatures. It was gorgeous. It really, honestly, it was, I think Junkie Fest was in July. To me, July in Minnesota feels like full on fall in Texas. Like, and by fall, I mean January. So I was just so surprised at how incredibly beautiful the weather was there. Okay, so what I saved my little bear somewhere. So I think I'm going to build some snowdrifts for him and his little penguin friend. So maybe 2. That's why I brought the extra cardstock. So what I was thinking was I would have a little bit of green light reflecting onto this little scene. So maybe a little bit on the snow and a little bit on the bear. Look how cute he is. Little penguin. Little adorable little penguin. And maybe should I do a little glitter? What do you think? I definitely want to do just a little reflection. And I have another one here where I didn't go all the way down with that, just had some kind of different spots, but I just love that. And we will also be splattering some stars onto there. But I think just that little bit of green light on him, I like it. Now, if I could find a way to do a green shadow, but that might be harder with this little brush. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do the edges of the snow. And this is just with what's left over on my brush. Nothing, I'm not adding any ink, just so that it's real pale and easy to blend. But I think that that'll add kind of a moodiness to the whole scene. And I have to put them down in the right order, so I got to remember that. But that's really a pretty simple card, don't you think? So let's put the stars on there, and we'll keep all this safe while we do that, because you know how that can be messy. So I will grab some, this is my little spray booth here. And we'll just get a little bit of paint. No matter what I do, I still just get paint splatters everywhere, like the base of my Archon stand. You should see it. It's quite painty. Even over on my iPad, which is way over here to the left. But we'll get kind of a 2-for-1, since this is Distress ink. We will get the effect from the paint, Oh, no, that's my nice brush. We're not doing that. But we'll also get a little bit of the water kind of effect there. What happened to my terrible paintbrush? Where did it go? Where is my awful, awful paintbrush? Is this one awful? This one's pretty awful. This is awful enough for sure. Now you want your paint pretty wet though. It's actually a little bit hard to see because of the reflection here, but it's not going to splatter that well if it's real thick. So you'll want to water it down pretty well. You could also just draw your stars on if you wanted to. I kind of like the organicness of the splattered stars, but that's completely up to you. I just think for me, it's very hard to have something look this natural if I were drawing it deliberately. So, okay, so I'm going to have to let that dry before I can glue it together, but you can see what this is going to look like. And this is my little I love you more than I can bear. So it'll be like this with, oh, I'll color my penguin though. And this is super easy. Easy as can be because it's just black. Aw, thank you, Marjo. I appreciate that. It really does look like it. I think this Pitt pen has seen better days. It's the one I use in my art journal. And so it's definitely very tired. Let me get another pen. It has suffered a lot of abuse in my art journal. Oh, I gotta take my glasses off for this. So it doesn't always work. It's also old. That's the thing about Pitt pens. They last for decades. Even if you do abuse them, they last for decades. So that's probably one of the very first ones that I bought because you never really have to rebuy them. The whatever they're using for the nibs for those things has eternal life. And so they are a very good pen. Now, I think I will give him some orange feet. One of the birds that we had in Maine that I just loved was puffins. They are so fun to look at. They're really, really cute little birds. Really weird looking. They almost don't even look real. But those are super fun. Little funny looking birds. So I think I'll give him a little orange beak. A little contrast to the green. That's kind of nice. So, oh, I have your Halloween card sitting ready to go out, Linda. So there we go. That's what it's going to look like after my paint dries. We'll have, you know what? Should I just be a rebel and put it down? Maybe I should. Let's see. So where about is that going to go? No, I think I'll wait till it dries. I always make that mistake. I'm too impatient. And I don't wait, and then bad things happen. So I'm not going to do that this time. But I will glue these two together. And since the back of this, you know how you can tear paper two ways? In one way you get the rough edge, and one way you get the smooth edge. So I kept the smooth edge to the back here. I mean the rough edge. I kept the rough edge to the back. And that makes it real easy to glue down too. And then the little edges, it's super easy to line up also because they both were just my normal card fronts that are pre-cut for me. So that's how it's going to look. With that little guy up there and this little guy looking at him. Oh, the puffins are so cute. So cute. Look how sweet that is. Isn't that sweet? He'll be a little farther down, so they're kind of looking in each other's eyes. And then this will be up here. There you go. There's your little Maine Northern Lights card. I love it. Be a rebel. I love it. Go to Maine, Julie. Go to Maine. I was in Camden. So Camden is far north enough to see them. So, and Friendship. So I was in that general area. But Camden is also a really great tourist town. Very fun. Best lobster rolls you'll ever eat in your life. Plus, they have a really great bakery there. And a little stand that sells hot chocolate chip cookies. So I remember the Northern Lights and I remember the food and the cold weather. So anyway, y'all have a good one. I will see you on Wednesday.